Hi everybody, welcome back. You all know me from previous videos. This week we are looking at the theme connecting, and today I have with me Gareth. So Gareth, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Gareth Hearn and I'm a mental health nurse trained and a cognitive behavioural therapist, and recently have been redeployed due to COVID-19 to the home treatment team in Lurgan.
So this is really nice to have Gareth here, because Gareth and I have actually known each other quite a few years, and we first met when I was an inpatient in Bluestone, where I spent many years in there. So Gareth has known me in the years when I was very unwell. We always had a really good relationship, I'm pleased to say, on the ward, but it's been very interesting for me now that I'm working in the building that Gareth would always have been a professional and I would have been a service user. And I suppose through my own journey and now working in a service, what I've realised is that in fact we're all just people really. We have very similar experiences, lots of different experiences as well, but also very similar experiences. And we were over visiting the home treatment the other day and we were just chatting, and I thought to myself it'd be really great if we could share from Gareth just a bit about what it's been on the theme of connecting, maybe in terms of work, in terms of family or whatever. You know, how is that whole thing for you at the moment, and how are you kind of managing that?
Yeah, I suppose on the theme of connecting, you know, just through the pandemic of COVID-19, you know, it has been difficult, I suppose, because everything's about social distancing, and we're not getting out, we're not doing the things that we normally do or able to do previously. So in my redeployment then to home treatment team, like many other nurses and social workers, like many other occupational therapists, nursing assistants, you know, people within the service, there's a lot of anxiety that comes with that. And as someone that treats anxiety every day, that's someone that treats, you know, complex anxiety disorders like OCD, panic, trauma, we sometimes forget that we're human ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's okay to acknowledge that we have our own anxieties as well. So when Lisa came into the office the other day, we had a conversation, and I'd already been with the home treatment team for a week. So it was that particular morning I had said to you that it was funny how even a week later I was coming into an office in a new environment with new skills to learn and new people to meet, that I woke up that morning with like a free-floating anxiety, just this anxiety that came from almost what appeared to be nowhere. And it wasn't very nice. But the easy thing to do with anxiety for people, and for any of us, you know, patients or staff, is to run away from the thing or to avoid the thing that we fear the most. So I took some of my own advice and I continued on with that, and took my breakfast, got into the car, came into work, and came into the office with this high level of anxiety, not exactly being able to pinpoint exactly the thought that was triggering it or what was going on, but I think there was enough going on with regards to COVID-19, with regards to family dynamics. You know, there's nurses and there's doctors and there's social workers and OTs and there's clients and patients, and we all have family, but some people have kids as well. And you know, schools are not there, and that's not a problem for me because I don't have children, but I do have two elderly parents, and for me that is quite difficult to manage in the context of work. So there was something going on in my head, and so when I came into work and we had the conversation, I was just sort of acknowledging the level of anxiety that I had. But by 12 o'clock, coming in at 9 o'clock, by 12 o'clock I actually realised that the anxiety had completely gone. And sometimes it is a case of, you know, the thing that is causing the anxiety or the fear is to go towards it and not to avoid it, and to recognise that we're human. We're not robots. We're not less a person for having anxiety. You know, it's very, very normal.
And you know what struck me as well, just in the conversation that we were having in there, was looking around a crisis team that I've used myself, needed for many years, it was about connection and being able within the team, and me as a colleague, as well in that.
Absolutely.
For all of us to be able to be talking and sharing with each other about what's been going on. Like I was having that conversation with one of the nurses about husbands and children,
Yeah.
you know, and we were both like going off on one around that. And it's just sometimes actually being able to say it out loud and know that your team are around you,
Absolutely.
whether that's your work team or just somebody in your life that you can kind of, you know, connect with and be with, who share common values, who you feel comfortable and not judged.
Absolutely.
And I think especially in a professional role.
Definitely. I suppose that's one of the things, you know, as you were saying, in the room we were having that discussion and normalising the fears and anxieties that were going on. And one of the things that often concerns people is the judgment that comes from other people, you know, and it takes a very strong person, I think, you know, for example yourself, Lisa, to actually open up and say, this is how I'm feeling, or this is where I've been, and this is where I'm at. And you know, that has been a journey for you, and you know, the connections that you've made over the years, and you know, connecting with yourself.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also, you know, just having that conversation and reconnecting with me.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting journey.
It has, and it's funny you bring up that about connecting with yourself, because I think a lot of us in this crisis, my journey, and I know in your life as well, you've had to look in and kind of acknowledge, and I think this crisis in some ways has forced people to maybe have to look at themselves. And we talked about connection as not just about connecting with others, and the importance about connecting with others. The research says that it's about connecting around shared meaning, shared values, shared purpose. You can be in a room full of people that you're connecting with and in fact feel very alone. So I think that's an important point, but also that thing of actually connecting with ourselves. What is this crisis showing up for us? You know, we've all been faced with fear, anxiety, uncertainty, a lot of the things, in fact, that come with people who have experienced trauma and things, the unpredictable nature of it. And suddenly you're having to face yourself, and when we squeeze, some of our not so nice bits come out. Mine certainly have. You're having to look at that, reflect, self-awareness. We've spoken about it actually on quite a few of our videos. You know, that self-awareness, and then being able to share maybe with somebody, even to help you kind of look at that. It's not about somebody fixing it or providing solutions, but it's like you say, it's not having that judgment.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, you know, a lot of times, you know, people, all of us, no matter what profession you come from or where you're working in the service, you know, we, as I said before, we are often concerned about other people's judgments, but as I want to reiterate that, it does take a certain type of person and a certain type of confidence, and have got a certain place in their lives that that you know, that it's that there's a strength in that.
Yeah, there's courage to be vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, if someone's judging either Lisa or judging me or judging anybody in this context or in any context in work, in regards to connections and your connections with other people, that problem doesn't lie with Lisa, and that problem doesn't lie with me. That problem lies fairly and squarely with either the professional that's making the judgment or the other person that's making the judgment, or whoever's out there. You know, so it's about building your own self-confidence as well, and it takes connections, as we've said, with other people, but also increasingly with ourselves.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's a privilege. In fact, it's just lovely, isn't it? I mean, this is the work we do. This is about hope. This is about possibility. This is about that we're all just people underneath our labels. Our diagnoses, our symptoms, the things that happen to us in our lives, whether we're in mental health services or not mental health services, when we have those common values, shared meaning, shared purpose, wanting to help, which a lot of people do, there's something very powerful about just being real with people. And I think what you're saying as well is very often when you're able to have the courage to be vulnerable, what we in fact do is give the people around us permission to be human as well. And when we do that, we're actually better able to look after ourselves, self-care, and manage our well-being. So it's been great to be with you today. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to checking in with you for the next video. We've got a few people this week, different people that we're going to be speaking to and that you're going to be hearing from. So take good care, stay home, and stay safe.